Welcome
Cheers.
back, boys, to the lonely road. Dude, it feels like every single time that we get ready to record this, shit happens in life. And it's like, no, not this is the topic. Like, our life gives us the topic that we need to like mic drop on right within like minutes of when we're talking about doing an
Pretty
episode. It's
much.
really weird.
Pretty much that's how we do our topics is what's going on in our lives or in the lives of somebody that, we know personally. And so I think that's what makes our podcast kind of different. Even so, as different, we're not as polished or we don't throw tons of money into it, but it's raw, it's real. And we do it with care and we do it with the want and the you know we want everybody to be able to make sense of their trauma and be able to heal. It's a lonely road and we want to know that you don't we want you to know that you don't have to do it alone.
Exactly. No, it
So
just it blows your mind when you look at it and it's like, okay, it's growing. Oh wait, KJ, we're recording an episode. Can we record it on this day? Because one of my brothers is like, hey, you want to hang out on Sunday? And I'm like, fuck, you're driving from Pennsylvania. Let me move these things around. Let me
mhm.
get this shit taken care of. KJ's like, okay, well, what do we have for a topic? So I'm like, okay, so do we want to touch on grief, life, mental health? Like, where are we looking? She throws it into Chat GPT, which we both do from time to time, and it literally spits out something that literally fits what we're going on or what's going on with life. And it's like, what is any of this? Like, how the fuck does it match so well sometimes? It doesn't
Well, I
make
mean,
any sense.
kind of does. I mean, if you think about digital mining, we share a chat GPT.
Yeah.
And so we both talk to our chat GPT about some things that are going on in our lives. And so it kind of does make sense from that kind of standpoint. You don't know what kind of crumbs it's taking from what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But I know that I ask it a lot for outlines and sometimes ideas for
Stats.
openings or things. Yeah, exactly. And it gives that to me. So it's got that history in it for me. Um,
Yeah. And then
but
obviously I do all the thumbnails and everything else. So like all the
yeah,
art
you're the
tangential
technical
and
guy.
everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, I just want to, in jest, of course. I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, are all welcome here. He is big
Yeah.
on the boys because he does his other podcast, but everybody is
Oh,
welcome. It's not just the
but like
boys.
no, but like when you're in kindergarten, elementary school shit, you're taught to like when you talk to a group of people, it's guys, it's like yes, it's ladies and gentlemen, but like when you're talking to a group, for some reason, dudes are treated as the answer. Like
We
even
have
in other languages, that's how it is too. It's
we
weird. I don't understand it, but
Yeah, they're just across a
yeah,
couple different generations, so it means it's different things to different people, I
yeah.
suppose. You know.
No disrespect. Love everybody. I want everybody to talk. I'm just like that's just how I talk. Like it, dude, we'll have KJ will be there. My sisters will. I'll be like, guys, what the fuck's going on? How's
Guys is
everything
different
going?
than
Like,
boys. You know what I mean?
oh
It's
yeah,
that
true.
it's
Like
it's
it
different.
just no autism absolutely just swaps that like pronoun all the fucking time, and
I'm
it
teasing you, man.
happens.
I'm
I
teasing
know.
you. I'm teasing you.
I
So,
know.
today I think we're gonna kind of talk about trauma, and we have to become a certain person. We change in order to adapt to the trauma that we're going through. And I think that today we're going to talk about when we experience trauma, especially in our childhood, your nervous system and your mind adapt to protect you. And we're
Mhm.
talking today about, you know, the person you become, to survive that trauma. You
Yeah.
adapt.
And I thought that this was such a cool topic because legitimately, last episode, in a lot of views, you could see it as essentially the paradox to this. It is what could you give up that would put you back to being at 100%? Now, it's not that conversation. It's actually the conversation before that.
Mhm.
It's how did you live through this? How did you live through the trauma, the abuse, the struggles, and how were you able to get through it in order to be able to be here? Because like you become a very, very, very different version of you when you're dealing with those things. Like I know that my divorce was such a big like bookend to
Mhm.
who I am as a person for like obviously 15 fucking years. Like that's
Hmm.
a long time, regardless of if it's the right person or the wrong person or whatever.
Right.
Those things change you. And then you add in trauma, abuse, neglect, and everything else into those things.
Right.
It is so weird now talking to you, talking to my mom, talking to my aunts, even my brothers and sisters. And they're like, Zach, you are finally back. You're back to being that loud, boisterous kind of person that like was there before and like sometimes. And like obviously you were off in your room and like cast away and kind of quiet because you didn't have the energy all the time. But now, because of like all the work and everything else you've done, you're now back to that person and you can do it always and kind of just be that light. And it's so weird because I don't like compliments whatsoever.
Hmm.
It's weird being like, dude, you're so great to be around now. You're not like aggressive, you're not negative towards everybody. It's like, whoa, that's it's weird. It's weird that everybody sees it. It's weird that I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, you adapt survival strategies, and you do it without even knowing it, because when you're in the middle of trauma, sometimes, especially if it's emotional abuse, you don't realize you're in the middle of it,
Yeah.
until you realize it, and so you adapt things such as people pleasing, your emotional numbness, perfectionism, you're hyper aware of things that are going on around you, overthinking. I fear abandonment, more
Yeah.
than anything, I think. And these traits come from unsafe environments, that your body and mind learn to adapt to.
Mhm.
And you use all those things, and more for survival strategies. The person you became, in my opinion, it's not broken. It's somebody you had to morph into for a moment, to get through what you needed to get through. But that doesn't mean that you're completely broken. And you absolutely have ways that you can, move when you're ready, uh,
Yeah.
that you can evolve through.
You remember when I used to watch wrestling all the time?
Yeah.
Like I know you were there
Like
all
you
the
still
time, so you
don't,
might
or what?
no, I do, but, like, I'm just saying, like, you were there and you saw some of it, like, could understand where I'm
Yeah.
coming from is what I was saying. Like, as a character in wrestling goes through changes or in their character, changes in the person that they're trying to portray and stuff like that, it's almost like different versions of you in trauma or when you're moving through things and stuff like that, that you almost make like a pseudo persona of yourself. You
Yeah.
create that wrestling character, and it might not even be an exaggerated form, but it may be like parts of you are no longer able to show. So now, oh, now I'm no longer eccentric. Now I'm no longer like trying to pop the joke every single chance I get, or like even the stupid little jokes of like that's what she said, or like hyper aware of like how somebody else's mental health is doing, or something else. That those things like almost physically change you, the way you look, the way you react, the way that you do these things. That essentially become a character of yourself.
Hmm.
Like, you round off the edges that people don't accept. You round off the edges that you may not accept. You're like, "Okay, well, I gotta lose 200 pounds. I gotta do this. I gotta do that." Like, you'll change what you are just for the other people around you's perspective or the way that they look or wanna do things. And I think that that is so weird and unique that I think so many people do it, but they don't really have the place to kinda look at it. They don't ever look back because, like, looking back is fucking scary because then you have to realize what you dealt with.
Yeah.
Looking back is scary because you don't know what realizing what you've dealt with will ever do.
Yeah. It's to a point where you get you become a different person for a period of time, and whether it is a more withdrawn person or whether it's a more aggressive person, or whether it's a whatever it is, there are ways that you can reclaim yourself. You don't have to stay in those trauma spaces. You may have
Yeah.
bonded to something within your trauma, but you don't have to stay in those spaces. You can find a way out of it. And that's one of the biggest things that, we're here to say, because we're both crawling out of our own traumas and in different stages. Zach and I specifically, but sure that if you're listening to this podcast, there's something that you are, fighting for, fighting yourself against. trying to regulate, you know, and you have to take that, especially if the trauma was in your childhood or as you were growing, you have to take that inner child and you have to repair it, you know, and give it the love and attention that it needs, you know.
Another time where it happens, and this happens to almost every parent that I know of that has multiple kids, is like with the first one, they're a completely different parent than they were with the second one,
Oh
and
yeah.
completely different than they are with the third one.
Oh
And
yeah.
it doesn't even have to be progressively worse. It could actually be progressive. Like I
Mhm.
got better every time. Like genuinely. I think I genuinely did. To the point where with Ava, when she was born, everything was on me. Like I did it all. Like there was no problem. I just did it. Like and it became second nature. It like it gave that spark that like so many parents like try and explain where
Mhm.
it's like, okay, no, I got it now. But I think that even in times like that where you're like, oh dude, I don't want to look back at those days because I fucked up. No, you looking at the fuck up, you accepting the fuck up, you accepting those steps and everything else that have happened are things of like, okay, how can I move past what I was able to do then? Because you do a lot of things out of trauma. You do a lot of things out of the inability to do something else or the inability to like regulate yourself or regulate something in the situation. You
Mhm.
just do it out of survival.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's really important that when you are trying to come out of those behaviors, if they become behaviors or they become your second nature, because you want to protect yourself first and foremost. When you get hurt or traumatized, the first thing is the recoil. And
Yep.
then I, I, I go in. I go introverted and I don't talk. I just don't talk. And then it progresses or degresses, whichever from there. I think I have it myself regulated enough now in life where I don't go into those deep, deep, dark places. And if I do touch upon the shadowlands of them, uh, it's only for a very short period of time, and I'm able to get myself out of it. You have to have compassion when you're
Yeah.
when you're dealing with this with yourself.
And there almost has to be like a standard of like, I'm going to actually handle this. I'm going to actually cross that fucking road. And like I knew that I was a very, very internal person, just like you. Like you watched me through all of my teenage years. I just shut down. Like if I couldn't fucking figure it out, I just shut down. I went and played Call of Duty. I shut my doors. I fucking blared music. I didn't want to be fucking bothered. I just couldn't put the fucking thoughts together, and that bothered me. So like when I started dealing with my divorce, and this is one of the smartest fucking things I've ever done. Um, I was dealing with real men talk shit and stuff like that and trying to get that off the ground. And I just started live streaming. I live streamed every single day, any second the kids were asleep, just to like hold my fucking self as accountable as I possibly could. Because like I'm holding myself to a schedule. I'm holding myself to the camera. I'm holding myself to this audience that may or may not want to hear the bullshit, but like I'm going to be real and we're going to have a conversation about it if I feel like we can. And like that was one of the craziest things that I kind of like didn't plan on doing, but like told myself I was going to. And like I'm kind of proud of myself for handling it that way. It was like, okay, no, I'm gonna hold my like, even if say something wrong or I say something that I'm not supposed to, dude, I would rather fucking say it than just be stuck in my fucking room, blaring, fucking cleaning out my closet for the 11th year in a row
Mhm.
and not be able to fucking handle this, not be able to work through it, not be able to get through it. And like take the fucking steps, dude.
Yeah, it's very, very important to like sit in it, but you don't need to stay there, and that's the key takeaway. The person you came to survive, you became that person, did their job. They were there for a reason, they were there for a purpose. It's just like other people that come into your life. Sometimes they're there for a season, they're there for a reason, they're there for a lifetime. It all depends on the relationship to the person, but I really feel like that person that you became did their job, protecting you
Yeah.
from harm. Now you're safe enough to become who you were meant to be. The healing's, it's about remembering the self. you are beneath all that armor you had to build. I know that, when I was really, really down, every day I had to get up and put that armor on. Um,
Mhm.
it was something that it became
Yeah,
part of my day.
it becomes a PTSD or an OCD, but at the same time, it's one you can heal.
Hmm.
And like it's not a diagnosable thing, but it's like choices and impulses that you have built inside of you where it's like, okay, no, I can't do that.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
it and it's so weird. The weirdest one that I can like pinpoint in all of my shit. When we moved into this apartment, me and my ex, shit got really bad for a long time. Like after my parents moved out of here. And like she was attempting trying to swallow pills all the time and everything else. So like I had to turn off like all of my emotion to that entire process. Like and that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because like the second you take it out of their hand and walk away from them, that situation's not done. You're still like ruminating over what the fuck just happened, what the fuck that argument or that conversation was. Or when you come downstairs, your two kids downstairs are like, "Oh, daddy, what happened?" Or "Can I have lunch?" Or like the fucking day doesn't turn off because you're dealing with something.
Hmm.
So you have to turn something off so that way you can keep fucking going because at some point it becomes redundant. It
Yeah,
becomes fucking all encompassing of whatever you need to fucking handle.
yeah, absolutely. And as you go through life, I think that each trauma or each situation, I guess not everything is trauma, but each situation that you
Yeah,
go through uh, you know, um, creates that emotional safety that you need to create for yourself. You have to acknowledge what's going on, and you have to give it a name. Recognize that it exists and it's impacting your life, and then once you've done that, you can start to find that environment that you can feel safe in to express what you need to express, without the world's judgment coming at you.
exactly. And like it's weird where that trauma came from is like when you look at my teenage years, it's when my mom was struggling. It was when everybody was struggling in the house trying to make sure that she was taken care of and kept up and like, hey, get your head on, like let's make you happy. Let's and like you see that where I was trying to like make everybody laugh and make everybody giggle when I was like had the energy to like 10 years later going to the point of like I can't do this. I can't keep everybody happy. I can't keep everybody smiling today. Like I just have to shut off because at some point it becomes too heavy and I can't do it for you.
Hmm.
To even today where it's like, dude, if I had to deal with one of those situations, I openly look at them and be like, I can't do this.
Hmm.
This isn't for me to handle for you.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's
you're
it's
not. Yeah, you're not the savior of everybody's bullshit. You
exactly.
you
But
got to deal with
it
yourself.
it's so weird because like you get all those different perspectives on it. Even in situations that are so similar. And like you grow up and like it changes and warps into something completely different from where it was.
Of course.
Like sitting here, I'm just like, no, I wouldn't. I would be like, no, I hope you're okay. I can't do this for you. Call this number, call that number. I, I'll give you advice, but I can't be that person that takes shit out of your
Well,
hand every day.
you're in a different spot now. I'm in a different
Yeah.
spot now. Yeah, we're we're at a point in life where we know that we can't save other people. They have to want to save themselves, myself included, yourself included.
Mhm.
Um, you know, so we, move on and we create that emotional safety spot and we ground ourselves in the present,
Yeah.
because we both know that this trauma bullshit can pull you back at any moment. You know, so you
And
have.
it's so surreal the things that will trigger that
Mm,
cycle to restart. Like I've been out of that situation for 5 years and like fully for 2 years now. So like it's so weird to look at these situations where you're like, oh my God, dude, things are finally going the way that I like perceive them to, or I accept them to.
yeah.
And it's like you hear a song, you hear something said, you do something, and all of a sudden you're like, fucking, dude, why the fuck am I thinking like this again?
Yeah.
Like it just restarts that fucking cycle again. And you're like, I know how to get out of it. It's okay. I got it. But fuck,
Exactly. That part. That part.
fuck.
I know how to get out of it. And that's the part that you have to keep coming back to because you can't lose your tool belt. You've spent
Yeah.
your whole life creating this belt of tools, emotional tool belt that you have. You have to listen to yourself and you have to ground yourself and you have to stay connected.
Mhm.
Do the things that you do. Blast your music, get on your game, deep breathing, sensory awareness, however you deal with it to stay connected and, you know, in the now, but
Yeah.
it's listen to yourself. If you are experiencing the headaches, the stomach pains, the whatever's happening inside you, listen to your body, because that's all part of your healing. You have to be good to yourself. And I heard something this week that really kind of changed my perspective because I've never been one to be all self-carry, like I
Mhm.
other people come before me.
Yep.
Everything needs to be done, you know what I mean? Everything need like right now it's the kids. They need what they need and it doesn't matter really what I need. But
Yep.
that's not healing anything in me. That's just making me drained, to be honest with you. But I read something this week in this grief forum that I came across, and it said, "Take care of yourself to honor your mother." Um, in my case, mother, because she worked so hard to love and take care of you.
Yeah.
And that kind of hit me really hard because I've been thinking a lot about things from her perspective, her life from her perspective, things that happened to me in from her perspective because we're all the main character in our own
Yeah,
world.
exactly.
So you but it just brings a whole new
No,
perspective to me about
it kind of
healing.
it kind it kind of cycles and says something a little bit more precise than what I think me and you've already talked about. I don't remember if it was on or off the show. I know we've talked about your mom so much because like both of us love her so fucking much as a person. But like it's death or like that struggle as a whole entirely. It's like if you cycle yourself of like, oh my God, I have to honor this person.
Mhm.
That person put so much into you. Dude, they wanted you to be you. They didn't want you to be this person too. Like even if you're named a junior or a third or a fourth or like you carry their name, you're not living for them.
Right.
They lived their life. They wanted you to live your life. Your life mattered more to them than their life. And you're seeing that right now in real time with your grandkids.
Mhm.
Is like you're realizing that the time that you have here is now for them. And then their time here is going to be for whoever like leads forward. Like I just got a text and it's the craziest mind-blowing thing is like my sister's walking down to my house that way we could walk with the baby down to Stewart's to get some ice cream and just like spend 30, 40 minutes together. My brother texted me, called me when I was getting ready for work on Thursday. And he's like, Zach, are you free Sunday? I looked at Bree this morning and I'm like, dude, thank you. Because you actually allow me to build whatever I need to do to keep taking care of everything else. Like if I decide, hey, I'm gonna go do this, you're like, fine. Tell me what you're doing. Like that's all that matters. Like tell me what to predict and expect so that way everything's taken care of. And that's all you need to do. Or like if you're like, hey, I need you to mop the floor tonight because we're having guests over, it's not even a question anymore. Where like before it was, oh my God, dude, I have to fucking plan how to keep everybody away from this situation and like not piss people. Dude, it's so weird. It's so different. Like,
Yeah, that's a different kind of relationship. I completely understand. Yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely. When you get to and that's there's some traumas you can't get through yourself, and you just gotta figure out how to get some professional help. If
mhm.
you go back into those things so deeply that you can't get out of them. But
Yeah. And I think the way that I handle them is completely ass backwards. When I get those feelings of anxiety or struggle, you guys get it in the group chat. I will fucking go on a deep dive of like, okay, this song, this feeling, these pictures, and crash myself on purpose. Just that way, like I can't stay fucking mad or sad for like ever because it will fucking stick. It will stick like the shit that's on the wall because I can't fucking figure out how to get rid of it. I either have to fucking sit in it and crash myself, or I have to just fucking forget about it. I can't stay mad. I can't stay sad. It doesn't fucking work. So like just crash myself and make it happen and then I'm okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm do what you gotta do, like, sometimes my big thing is, I kinda catastrophize. Like, if a situation's coming up, will, like, "That's not gonna happen," or, and it's kind of
Mm.
self-defeating in a way, but I for a long time in my life, if it did happen, I would be happy, I would be excited about it, but then I wouldn't be so disappointed when it didn't,
Yeah. Well, you got
and
two
that
outcomes. The
yeah.
worst possible one, I know all of those. Like in all of the conversations and situations that we've talked about, how many times have I told you this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen? And I expect all of them to,
Mhm.
because whatever happens for me is going to happen for me. But guess what? I've already pre thought about every single other possible outcome, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I would rather hope that I'm wrong and be proven wrong than fucking be proven right. But guess what? I've thought about every single one.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely are that guy. You think about all your probabilities and everything. I've definitely started opening myself up to think like that. Like, I even it was I feel myself acting differently and moving differently and I like that. I like that I've
It makes
taken
it more
myself from that
like
place.
even if you're like, dude, I'm gonna watch sports today, right? And you're like, oh my god, I feel like betting on sports today. Maybe it might not be something you ever do, but you're like, hey, dude, I have fucking 10 extra dollars. That's gonna do nothing. It's gonna sit there for right now. That could be $50 if I fucking win something, or it could be nothing. But 10 years ago, that used to be a pack of cigarettes. Now I don't have to buy packs of cigarettes. That $10 fun. Let's have some fun. I'm gonna sit here and watch baseball or MMA with the kids or whatever, and I'm gonna throw that on a sport or whatever. At some point, you realize, okay, well, that's a risk, but what risk is that? And like you could look at all of life, all of your decisions, everything. And it makes it so much more easier because it's easier to be analytical about it. And like then you put your feelings into it and it's like, okay, well, that makes sense. This makes sense. That doesn't make sense. And it just makes it a little more like logic based instead of everything just being, oh, that's karma. Oh, that's like this innate inanimate thing that I can't figure out. It's no longer unattainable. It's no longer not understood. It's able to be figured out.
Hmm.
It's weird.
I mean, it's an interesting way to look at it. It's very, very succinct. That's definitely not the way that I have viewed life. I'm not saying that I view life in the right way at all. I've definitely been led by my feelings way too much. But
Well,
I mean,
I think my mind changed literally during my divorce because how much of everything was held and held captive by emotions and
mhm,
feelings and gut checks and everything else. Before that, it was like, okay, you can't fucking lead like that. Like if all of these people rely on me and we're even if we're just talking about my kids and Bree and everything else, I have to be in the best place I possibly can be to succeed for these people. And
mhm.
then like if you extend out and like each one of the little heads of our families or whatever, we're in this circle and I got to help everybody and they help me and everything else. And we bring all of our contact together and let's figure out the best way to go about this. The best way to go about it is trying to figure out exactly where everybody comes from and how everybody goes and like what they need and come up with the best possible answer for that outcome. And the only way to do that is not 100% by feelings at all. Because if you're doing everything by feelings, at some point you're going to get your feelings hurt. And then your entire world view shifts. And then once your worldview shifts, it's like, dude, everything I've done in my entire fucking life is fucking wrong. Fuck. Then it becomes not only "Hey, everything you've done is wrong, is it am I wrong? Is it like my perspective on everything wrong? And then you get like what so heavily a majority of like the far, far, far left is right now is like everything that they've perceived in this world has to be true because if it's not true, it's part of them and that becomes negative. And once it becomes negative, it implodes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world, and that's a big, 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 big package to unpack.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, it's just summarizing it all. Like to me, it's not about forgetting who you were or erasing the past. It's more about taking that experience and putting it into your life story along, with the logic. I'm trying to use
yeah,
logic more than just my feelings all the time. But that's the way my life's been led, is through feelings. And I feel
exactly.
like if I would have put more logic in there as well and had a good mixture of the two, then that would have probably been the better route. So I try to take that moving forward,
Exact. Yeah,
and take those experiences forward in a place that you have control of them. It's a process. This healing shit that requires you to be patient with yourself, and that's very hard for me because I'm very, very, very hard on myself.
well, life is a lot like baseball.
Yeah.
You may watch the game, you may strike out 50% of the time. But dude, if you hit 3 fucking times every 10, you're doing really fucking well. Like, you make sure that those 5 fucking failures or the 10 fucking failures that you got in a row or whatever
Hmm.
aren't the biggest outcome that you have to deal with today.
Right.
Take take mitigated risk. Realize, make yourself feel competent, feel confident, because the reason that you were traumatized in the beginning was probably because you didn't feel both of those things. Because you didn't trust yourself in those situations. You didn't trust like the people around you or the situations you were even putting yourself in. At some point, that lonely road that you were walking became illogical, became run by, oh my God, I feel like I have to do this. Yeah, you could do that 20% of the time, 30% of the time. That's allowing yourself to be human.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's also trusting yourself that you're competent, comfortable enough with what you're doing and risking whatever you're risking to do those things.
Yep. Yep. Don't get impatient with yourself, because this whole healing shit is a lifelong process. When there's not any time frame to any of it, whatever your trauma is. You could you could definitely make it better for yourself and build a different bridge, than just staying in the victim mentality. And I would suggest that, because it definitely feels better. But there definitely are ways to help you improve. And if you looked into it and you figure find out for yourself what path you need to take and what bridge you need to build, like Zach had to isolate himself completely, um, basically, and he's getting back parts of himself, his brother, his sister, me, his mom, that that make him whole. So he's
Yeah.
able to be the guy that his brother said hasn't been around for a while, or his
But that
sister's like, "Wow, you're back."
it's
That's
weird because it's like that trauma, that trigger finger that I taught myself also still is there. And
yeah.
like we're seeing that in other parts of like handling this situation is like, I don't care if I'm on the bridge. I will fucking burn it down. It just is what it is. I trust myself enough in life that it's okay. It will be okay, and I know it'll be okay because, like, I
For me,
trust
it depends on
myself.
what the bridge is. I don't want to be
That's what
burning
I'm saying is,
shit
like,
down. I did that
no,
way
but,
too
like
much in life.
exactly, but it's like, I'm sure that if you had a problem in a situation right now where it's like, "Okay, this is big enough for me to walk away right fucking now."
Oh yeah.
You're like, "Okay, I got this. It's okay, I trust myself.
Oh,
You'll fucking just walk off the bridge and jump right now.
there are definitely
It's okay."
boundaries, and
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it's weird because it's like, dude, for so long it was like either the bridge is there or the bridge is not. Now it's
No.
like, I don't care if the bridge is there. I'm either going to walk or I'm not going to walk. And if I walk halfway across the bridge and it fucking blows up, dude, I'm okay. It'll be okay. I trust myself enough for it to be okay. It'll get there. It'll be okay. I know it
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, I definitely know that now. I'm in a different mindset as far as As far as all that's concerned, yeah, it's this path is something, boy. I'll tell you.
Yep. It's a
And,
lonely fucking road, some people say. And guys, I do want to say this. That victim mindset, like that mindset of like, oh my God, I can't fucking change this because it made me safe. Dude, you are so much more comfortable and confident in the things that you've dealt with in your life today. And if you dealt with them again, you would see them in a different light. So stop looking at them from the place where you were when it was handled and realize that things could change because life has changed. It's okay.
yep, you have 100% track record. You have 100% track record of getting through your bad days.
Yep.
You're gonna get
Every
through
day.
this too. Yep.
You haven't even failed a good one. So, like, realize that you could fuck everything up today. Your entire life could be fucked. You could be 45 fucking years old. Guess what? You could rebuild it tomorrow and it'd be fine. Yeah, I still got 50 years. Keep going. It's okay. Figure it out. Maybe there will be a lantern lit in front of you. If not, light it. Keep walking. And guys, we'll see you fucking next time.
Cheers, ladies and gentlemen.